Robbie Robertson as our guest in studio. But what did kind of bring you to this point in making the album?
Well, I had been talking, Eric Clapton and I had been talking about doing something together for quite a while. And at my studio in Los Angeles, a few years ago, he'd come by and we would tell stories, and then we'd eventually pick up a couple of guitars and mess around with some ideas. But we didn't have anything really specific in mind. It was always like, well, let's see what happens. And then I ran across some of this music that I hadn't heard in a while, and I called him and I said, there's some very good ideas that we started here. I don't know how we got off the track. And he said, oh, no, I know there is. And he said, I think you should come to London and we'll go in the studio and let's see what happens. The famous words, let's see what happens. So we went into the studio over there, him and I, and then Steve Winwood came in and joined us, and with a great bass player, Pino Palladino, and drummer Ian Thomas. And we went in and we recorded all the basic tracks for this record and some other stuff as well. But that's when Eric said, okay, it's clear to me now, this is supposed to be your record, because we didn't know whether it was an Eric record, a duet record, a Robbie record. So he said, this is your record. You've written most of the stuff. The direction is really your direction. And so then after we finished that, and we had a great time doing it. It was just such a good vibe in the studio. It felt like we'd been doing this for years. And you know what I mean? It just very natural. So then I came back and I did the Shutter Island thing, which took me completely out of the mode of making this record. And as it turned out, in a very good way, because when I came back to finishing this record, I had some wonderful clarity. And some of the things from that movie actually bled over into finishing up this record. Some of the musical ideas, some of the people that I wanted to work with on it, the thing that I did with Trent Reznor on this record was definitely something that came to me having worked on Shutter Island.